Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here, along with our little Piper back here. It is Friday afternoon. Well, hello, Sheila. She says, hello, Diana. Good to see you. I hope you and Piper are doing well. We are. The sun is out here. It's a beautiful day. In fact, it's actually going to hit low 50s, I believe. And it's almost like spring, which is amazing. So it's lovely here. Thank you. Our question today, thank you for the viewer who sent this. And if you have questions of a general nature, please put them in the comments below or just send them to me email, and we will respond to those questions. If you have private questions, get a hold of me. Just give me a call and we'll set up an appointment for you for a session. We will also get, of course, a message from one of my books, The Master's Book of Answer by Phillip. And that's just an oracle book where every page has a different message on it. So it's not a book, this one, anyway, it's not a book you read from cover to cover. You can, but it wouldn't have any meaning. But it is a book that you pick up daily and kind of get your message for the day. I have other books out there that you want to read from cover to cover, and you can find those on my website or even on Amazon. Hello, Johanna. So good to see you. She says, hello, Diana. Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to answer a viewer's question about the Akashic Records, or some say Akashic. I'm not sure which it is, but I usually say Akashic. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today, answering your questions. And we're going to get moving here pretty quickly. So good to see those of you who can come live. I'm always grateful for that. And Judith, well, hello, Judith. She says, good afternoon, Diana. It's been a long time since I've been able to see you live. It has been. And so good to see you, Judith. Glad you could join us here. Always good to see old friends here and new friends, and it's exciting. So thank you. So what we're going to talk about today is here are our questions. And Sheila says, hello, everyone. Sheila's coming in from Amsterdam, which is quite a ways away from where we are here in rural Ohio. Judith is coming in from Florida, I believe. And Johanna, help me out here. I'm not sure. I forget where you're coming from, so help us out. I'm sorry. It's always good to know where people are coming from. I'm always curious about that, so this is fun. Okay, here are the questions. Well, hello, Akila. She's coming in. She says, hello, everyone. And Akila's coming up from Georgia, probably even warmer there than where I am. And Johanna says, Montreal, Quebec province. Yes, thank you. I couldn't quite remember if it was there. So thank you. I love Montreal. I have not been there. And Judith says Miami, which is Florida. And Johanna, Montreal, it is a beautiful city. And I don't remember my high school French other than bonjour. That's about as much as I remember. But I love Montreal. It was a little overwhelming when I first got there because the traffic was like rush hour. And so I was a little, oh my, it's a little overwhelming. And Johanna says bonjour. But I remember it as being just a beautiful, sophisticated, wonderful city, great place to visit, and I'm sure to live. So I'm glad I got to go there. And she said, Johanna says, still rush hour. So that might be a rush hour 24/7, which that's like New York or LA, some of the big cities. So anyway, we're going to get moving here. And as I said, we will get a message from Phillip, but I want to first of all say, here are the questions. Would Phillip please explain that as case, and again, Akashic or Akashic, I don't care how you say it, record. Can anyone access it? Should we? Is there a benefit in doing so? And by the way, next week we're going to talk about different dimensions. Do we live in different dimensions? So we'll look at that. And the two kind of go together in some ways, but here we go. The term Akashic record is used by many to refer to a giant record of all life. Although all life is available to access, it is simply part of the energy. It is not a record book or film, but if thinking in those terms helps someone, then by all means use the term. Akashic has an ancient history, but unfortunately has been misused in more modern times. The biggest mistake humans make in seeing the future as being already recorded in a heavenly book or on film is simply that they feel destiny is already written and they can't change it, or they can't know what's coming because they can't access the record. That kind of makes you feel like a doomsday, doesn't it? This is disconcerting to the human and also to us. Let us explain why. Humans have quite a narrow view of life. So if they look to the future, they see it from their current perspective. If the current perspective is sour, that is what they will see. If the current perspective is happy, is that what they will see? Yes, but that is no more realistic than seeing only sour. The future, like the past and present, hold multiple outcomes. What is shown to the viewer is the most likely future because of the present trajectory. And this is true when I'm doing a reading for somebody, to predict how this outcome of what they're going through will be. What I'm looking at is the trajectory of what they're currently on. Now, I often will say, it could go this way or it could go this way if there's some leeway. But usually we'd follow that trajectory that's already set up. And so that's what Phillip is saying. That's what we're looking at. But it's really, there's much more than that. And we'll get into the different dimensions more next week. So here we go back. The present holds both unhappiness and happiness, a balance. That balance must be looked at when looking into the future. If one thinks in terms of energy instead of a record, it is harder to wrap the mind around accessing information. If it helps you to think in terms of a record in a spiritual book or on film, by all means do so. We are simply telling you all information is accessible to you as all is energy. Yes, you can access the past and future. We must caution you here, however. When the human mind is open to the vast knowledge of all energy, it will cause the human to be unable to function in the human world, or as you might say, be grounded. I think it was Stanislav Grof, who back in the 80s or 90s wrote a book, and I think it was called Spiritual Emergence. And in that book, he talks about if we develop our spirituality too quickly, if we jump ahead instead of, we can move rapidly and we can make leaps, but if we force it, we actually end up unable to deal with this world. And as he said, we end up insane. I do also remember Rollo May, I believe, did his doctorate degree. And this goes back quite a ways, but he did some work on his doctorate degree, and he found people that were highly psychic. Many of them were making predictions about World War II, but they were in what then were insane asylums because the rational world just had no meaning for them. And I always tell people when I teach to develop and refine your intuition that it's really necessary that we don't live in that energy, that psychic energy all the time, unless, we can move into the mystic, and then it's very difficult to deal with the world in the psychic energy because we take so much of that in, and this causes panic attacks. It keeps us from being able to do our taxes. And so we want to be able to live in this world and be grounded while at the same time accessing the psychic energy or the deeper intuition. And we can do that, but that's what Phillip is talking about here. Certainly, there are many who have developed their intuitive abilities to the degree of psychic wisdom. Most, but certainly not all, have trained to understand the energy messages in a safe manner. Some of these people have advanced to be called mystics. We suggest that one should become aware of your intuitive abilities, which everyone has, You develop your intuition in a way that is safe for the human mind to absorb and be able to understand. This means respecting your abilities and respecting the vastness of the knowledge you want to tap into. Imagine an endless amount of knowledge pouring into you at the same time. When you are selective and understanding your abilities and how to access information safely, you will be joyfully surprised to learn about life, the past, present, and the future. Keep in mind, life is an adventure, but it is not a toy. Treat it with the respect you would any adventure you undertake. You study, you work with those who know the path, and you enjoy the journey without foolishness. In this way, you have a marvelous adventure and gain knowledge. So, what Phillip is saying, if you want to access what is called the but the Akashic records, if you want to access those, they're available to everyone. You don't have to develop your psychic abilities. So, but you do want to be careful, because when you tap into the deeper energy, we can lose our ability to be grounded. Excuse me. I'm sure many of you go to the grocery store and it can be difficult because all of that energy coming at you from others. And a teacher explained to me many years ago, I used to go to the grocery store when I lived on the West Coast. I'd go at midnight, so there would be fewer people there. And I still prefer going when it's not crowded. Airports, I have to really protect myself and put this delightful, beautiful shield of pure love around me, just so it's not so hard for me to really go walking through an airport or grocery store with a lot of people around. And I don't live in my psychic energy. It's always there to tap into. So we want to use our intuition. Absolutely, absolutely. We want to live in the energy where we can use our intuition, but we also have to stay grounded. So what Phillip is saying is balance. You can tap into it, but balance. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm hearing right, but I'm also getting a strong left. So if you heard right, our intuition is in sync. If you heard left, listen carefully. That's a message for you. So on the right, it's page 117. If you believe in yourself, you will not be fearful of another's idea. If you believe in yourself, you will not be fearful of another's idea. And that's very important, excuse me, with this week as well, because never go into the deeper energy in fear. Go in with love. Go in with the protection of your guides, and go in with the protection of the spirits and the angels who watch over you. Whatever word you put to love, angels, protectors, guides, they're all here to help us. Use them. Protect yourself. You know, every time I leave my home, I ask the angels to put their big wings over. And do angels really have wings? Probably not. But I like to believe from my childhood that angels have wings. And so I have them put their big wings over my land and watch over you know who while I'm gone if she's not with me. And also over my car for, I always say, uneventful travels. That means no speeding tickets either. All right, if you heard left, your laughter adds value to everyone's life. Absolutely, my friend, and that's page 116. Your laughter adds value to everyone's life. And for all of us, page 117, if you believe in yourself, you will not be fearful of another's ideas. So if you decide to access the energy, and next week we're going to get into the different dimensions and what they mean. If you decide to access the Akashic records, as Phillip said, it's all in the energy. And if it helps you thinking of it as a big book, cool, do it. Or a film that you can watch. Any of the above. What's easiest for you? But do so in love. Always be safe. I love each and every one of you, my friends. I love seeing you again and again and again when you can come. Sheila says, thank you, Diana. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. And we will be doing Sacred Circle by Zoom, which is the last Friday of the month. I think it's the 26th, something like that, or 23rd. It's like the 23rd. And I will put that out on Facebook, or if you are on the mailing list, I will send you an email soon. If you're not on the mailing list, ask to get on. Just send me an email. I love you. Thank you for all being here. So good to see each and every one of you. Be safe, stay in love, and we will see you next week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joanna.